Hello everyone. Today I am going to make another t-shirt design, of course, but this time I am going to make a design from my imagination. This is not a regular kind of design. I wanted to make a motivational design. So basically I found this quote very interesting. This is really, I like this one. A gentleman is simply a patient wolf. So I was thinking like how to convert this into a t-shirt design. So when it is talking about a wolf, I should use a wolf here. Then of course I was thinking to make a view like this, something like a mountain, some trees, and then a wolf design is incomplete without a moon. So I will of course use a moon here. So idea was just to create a howling wolf graphic and keeping that as the center graphic, and then try to add a moon like this. So let's try to do that. Now this text I'm going to work later. Let's first make the graphic here. So the point is, if I place my wolf like this, it should be, of course, this is the center graphic for me, so I want to keep it really big, like bigger than the mountains. And when a wolf is bigger than the mountain, it just destroy the proportion rules. And for fixing that I am using two mountains here. So when one mountain is smaller, one is bigger, that is indicating like this mountain is in closer position, this is in distance position, and my wolf is like on top of everything. This is the first, this is the closest, then this one, then this one. So something like this. Now for this kind of graphics, as you can see, the mountain baseline is a strict hard cut line. I hate this kind of hard cuts. So I want to make a organic shape here. So I will use my pencil tool, as the fill is black. When the fill is black, okay, before starting I need to make sure that everything here is in complete black. Then whatever I will do, it will be complete black. So I am taking my pencil tool, and the first step is I am just drawing some random shapes here to hide the straight cut area of the mountain shapes. That is good. Now I am selecting this mountain and then this mountain, these two mountain, then making them a group so that it acts like one element. Now I am selecting my this wolf vector, maybe a bit up, just the feet should touch the ground shape that I create here. So for the wolf here I am going to create a offset path for my wolf, just like this, 10 pixel. Yeah, that is good. Let's okay. Now cut this. I want to make my wolf completely visible, like this area is overlapping with my mountains, and I don't need that, I don't want that. I want to make it completely visible. So I'm selecting the mountain here, opening the transparency, press Ctrl F to paste in front. So as you can see, this is how it is looking right now, and this area it is not looking very good because it is hiding with the ground shape, but that is not a problem for me here. I just wanted to make it visible on top of my mountains, and that is working here. So that is good. Now clicking here. So for this ground area here I want to make everything like visible here, but before that I wanted to create a moon kind of graphic to complete my wolf design. That is the point I am going to do that. So I am going to take a ellipse here. Okay, before that I am going to select everything, then make them a group so that I don't lose their position. Now creating a ellipse here, just like this, pressing shift X for converting into strokes. Now I want to just keep my wolf in the center position, something like this. This is going to be the moon shape for me, but this time I am going to create a half moon. But for that I want to create a copy of this ellipse here, so I am pressing Ctrl C to copy. Now I am locking this ellipse layer. If I lock the ellipse layer, it is attached there, it is not going to move. Now I am pressing Ctrl F to paste in front. Now I have two ellipses, one is locked, one is on top. So the top ellipse, if I press shift X, it is going to turn into fill color. So if I turn down the opacity, you can see this is how it is going to look like. This part is looking good actually. So I am going to press Ctrl C Ctrl F again to make another ellipse. You can see here I have two black ellipse on top of each other, so that is good. And for the top ellipse I want to press shift, and then if I make it smaller like this, just like this, maybe then maybe bigger in this area, something like this, just, or maybe a bit rightwards, that's like it, just to create a half moon effect here. So if I select this ellipse and this ellipse, press shift M for shape builder, I can press alt and minus this 2, and that is going to left me a half moon kind of shape here. And as I turn down the opacity, I can bring that back. So this is how it is going to look right now. And as you can see, these parts are like visible here, but I don't want that, and my moon is not completely visible through these areas of the mountain that is overlapping. So I'm selecting my moon shape here, go to object, path, and then offset path, turn on the preview, same 10 pixel I am keeping this time, click on this OK. Now if I cut this and select my this group, open the transparency, press Ctrl F, it is going to paste it like this. And as you can see, this is creating this cutout effect, and my moon is completely visible on top of my these mountains and the wolf vector, but this part is visible and I don't need this part. So I'm taking my pencil tool, my fill color is black, I'm just hiding these areas from here. So that is looking a cool graphic, that is good. If I click here on this top surface, I am in this top surface, and for this area here, as you can see, this part I want to match with my this blank space of my moon, and of course this tails should be, I want this tail to be on top of my moon. So how to do that? Now first step is, if I like select my moon vector, okay, before that, if I double click and select my mountain group, inside the transparency I will find this wolf vector. So I am selecting this, copy, now clicking here, then if I select my this moon vector and open the transparency like this, press Ctrl F to paste in front, and this is how it is looking. As we pasted that inside the transparency of the wolf mountain group, it is overlapping from here, and I don't need that, but I want it to be visible from this area. So first step is, if I select this wolf vector, I can simply erase this part that I don't want to be visible. Of course not this part also I don't want. And for this area here, as you can see, this is how it is looking from this area, but we pasted something inside the transparency of our this mountain group. So I am selecting this one, this fox, this wolf vector, copy, then if I click here, and then inside that, if I select this mountain group, I will find that moon shape inside the transparency. So I'm clicking here. Now we are inside the moon's transparency, and if I press Ctrl F here, it is going to paste that same wolf vector inside the moon vector. So if I select these two, my moon vector and the wolf vector like this, press shift M for shape builder, I can simply press alt and delete. That is going to delete this part, and as you can see, this is how it is looking like right now. The tail is visible on top of my moon's transparency. So that is good for me, and this area I wanted to make it visible. So I am going to select this group here. If I select this ground shape that we created using pencil tool, if I open the transparency for it, just like this, I can work inside here. So I'm selecting my pen tool here to click here, then maybe something like here, and another click here, just to follow this curve here. So as you can see, this is how it is looking. If I select this one, then copy, there is some extra part that is visible, that is the mountain part. So I need to select my mountain part, of course, then open the transparency, press Ctrl F to paste in font. That is how we are going to hide those area. and as you can see, this is how my whole feet is visible from this area, and everything looks good, perfectly fine for me. Now I want to create a use this tree vector here because this is looking like something missing. So if I double click, sorry for that, I need to first of all cut this tree group. Then if I double click here, I can simply select my this mountain groups. Then inside here, if I press Ctrl V, it is going to paste my tree vector here. And when we are pasting anything inside a group, if we applied any kind of effect on that group, it is going to apply it with the graphics also. Like as you can see, if I make it here, as you can see, we applied the wolf vector to the mountain, so that is what it is applying here. So this part is looking good for me. Maybe I will just create a copy of that tree just to put here, one here, one maybe here. So that is good, I think. Okay, if I double click here to isolate the group, you can see this is how it is looking right now. So maybe this area is not looking very good, so let's fix it, erasing that. So that is good. So this is now giving me a oil kind of look, oil kind of feel. So that this is good for my graphic here. Now I want to work on my text. So for the text here, I wanted to create a round kind of batch kind of thing. So if I take my this text and if I place it on this ellipse, that is why I kept a copy of this ellipse. So I'm selecting my text, right click, recent fonts, something like, let's use the Norwester font, whatever font you want. I'm making it complete capital. Now cut it. Now I need this ellipse, so I locked it. So let's unlock it. I can select it now. Now if I go to my type on path tool, click on this anchor point, then press Ctrl V to paste. You can see my text is now on top, on the ellipse, and I want it to cover the roundness of the graphic here, and this is looking like outside of the ellipse. So if I change the base point of my text simply like this and then increase the space between them, it is going to feel like this. Now maybe I will change the position, not like that, I can do it manually. So maybe a bit closer to the this point, and that is good, I think. Maybe a bit more change in the base point, and that is completing the curve here. I'm happy with the position, that is good. Now for this one here, I am going to use maybe like a horror kind of font, something like another danger. This is really good font. So if I take it, okay, let's, I'm using a design called gentleman's thing. So let's use a gentleman's font, a cool looking font like geared slab. So anything that will just look good with the gentle things. So I'm making, selecting everything that is in graphic, make them a group. Now if I place my text like this, select these two and then align them center wise. So this is how it is looking, but this is not looking very center. So let's do it manually, something like this. Now I want to break it. So this is the position of my text. I want this text to be completely visible. So let's create a rectangle here, just as big as your text, a little bit bigger than the text. So pressing shift X for converting into a stroke, make it bigger. Now if I select these two, the rectangle and my text, I can simply place them exactly in the position where I want it to be. So I need to now fix the position like manually, making everything in the center position, maybe a bit right, something like this. This is looking good. Now I want to make it visible, so I'm selecting this ellipse, this rectangle, copy. Now as we make them a group, if I select it like this, double click to open the transparency, then press Ctrl F to paste in front. This is now, as you can see, inside the transparency a rectangle there we can see, but in a stroke mode, and I'm pressing shift X for converting that into fill mode. Now you can see it is visible, and when it is in black, it is going to hide those areas. So that's what I created here. Now my text is visible, and of course my graphic is also having that cool kind of look. If I take my ruler tool here, just to place a ruler in the end of both side, something like this. Now I need to make sure that my text is in the center position. Maybe this is the center. It doesn't have to be a perfect place, just whatever it looks like a center position. Now I don't need them. So this is the final graphic for my this one, guys. I wanted to make a design for my text this time, not I didn't choose the text for my graphic. So I had this text in my idea, then I wanted to create something like a shape like this. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you learned something new from this one. Thank you everyone for subscribing me. Keep supporting me, and I will keep making videos. Thank you guys. See you in the next video, guys. Have a great time.